It was a dark and stormy night. And there was lightning that rolled through the clouds above the Rocky Mountains. And I was sleeping in a cabin, and I wasn't sleeping well, so I decided to go out and watch the storm, knowing that in the Rocky Mountains, the storms come in late in the evening, and they go away before the morning. And on this particular night, I was running a 60-kilometer race the next day. And this race, I had been waiting to run for a very long time because it was in my home state, and it was very high altitude. So I had been training for this. I couldn't sleep. So I woke up, maybe after a few hours of sleep. I wasn't too hungry, but I was excited. And I went and I ate my lovely breakfast, oatmeal and nuts, some egg mashed up in there, and some peanut butter. I know that this sounds very delicious. So anyways, I'm getting ready for my 60-kilometer run and eating all of this food, and I just don't really feel that hungry because I'm really excited to see the mountains that I've been waiting to run through. And so the day begins. And here I am, eating while I'm running. That right there is a pack of food in my hand that I'm munching on as I go up the mountains, enjoying the view, taking pictures with a big smile on my face. It was a fabulous day. As you can see, the storm was no longer there. Typical Colorado fashion. And so I move in to what is called a rest stop, for those of you who don't run, or an aid station. And now at the aid station, they have all this food set out, and for whatever reason, here I am excited, taking my pictures, enjoying the moment, and I forget how hungry I am. And so I don't really eat that much. I'm just talking to some people and stretching, grabbing some food, and I continue on my way. And going up this mountain, I am continuing to enjoy the photos, to enjoy the people. That lady that was running in front of me, that was her first race. And she was telling me all about where she was from, and I was enjoying the experience. And then I get up to this view. Who would remember to eat while looking at this? I certainly did not remember to eat while I was enjoying this view. And it was fabulous. And what you don't know is that there are fans up there. There are people that actually hike in and cheer you on. And I was just so surprised. If you've run here in China, you know that not very often people hike into the course just to cheer you on. So this was a really cool experience. But again, I'm not eating. Well, as you can see towards the end of one of those peaks, you go down. You don't go back up. And you go down into the forest. Well, so the views vanished, and so did most of my energy. I'm in the forest, and I'm nearing the end of the race. I have about 10 more kilometers, and my body starts breaking down. There was a really kind man who was running next to me, and it was one of those situations where you know that you want to say something because he's asking you questions, and you know the words, but they're just not coming out of your mouth. And you can tell by the way that person is looking at you that something is wrong, but they don't want to say it because they don't want to freak you out. That was also happening. Well, he stayed with me for a while, and he had his own race goals, so he continued on. And there was me, suffering in the forest, starting to wonder, am I really going to make it out of this race? Am I actually going to finish? And so I turned to prayer, and I said, man, God, I don't think I can do this. I really need some help. So fast forward, not sure how I made it, but I made it to the finish line. And my children luckily were there to point out the direction to which I needed to run and held my hand and helped me finish the race. And this is me eating food finally, telling my wife that this is stupid and that I'm never going to do this again. And she called me out and said, oh, so you're not going to sign up for any more races. Well, lucky me, I had already signed up for 2 more races in the fall. It was a bright and sunshiny morning, filled with friendship, and some more eggs, and some more rice porridge, and wonderful Chinese breakfast. Maybe that was the difference. So anyways, it's another 60-kilometer race, a little bit more altitude, and I'm eating very well with my friends. The race is in beautiful Jiangnan, and I am enjoying the views, except for one minor difference. This time, I'm eating. I'm always eating. I even call my children in the morning to say good morning in a part of the race, and I'm chewing food while I'm talking to them, asking how their breakfast is. And as you can see, Jiangnan is very beautiful, and I continue to work hard and climb the hills and enjoy what I train to do. And here is me, still eating, at another rest stop, a little bit different than last time, enjoying some more rice porridge and some meat. And then I cross the finish line, jumping, waving, just as happy, and enjoying it with some friends. Now, all of you probably think, what is the point of this? And I would mostly agree with you. So I'm assuming that most of you haven't signed up for any of these types of adventures or races. If you have, awesome. What a great experience. But we are all definitely a part of this race called life. And in this race, there's food. And as you can see in my races, that food does not last. I was cramming that food in my mouth as much as I could while I'm running that race. So in our life, we have physical food, but we also need spiritual food. We need something that feeds our hearts and our spirit. And so for me, I need a food that lasts. And so for me, I go to Jesus because he said, anybody who comes to me will never go hungry again. And I am the bread of life. So my question to you today is, what are you eating as you run this race called life? And where are you going for that food? And does that food last through the challenges that you face? Thank you.